Food is our most basic right, yet over 20 million Americans lack access to inexpensive, nutritious foods.
In 2020, according to the USDA, about 700,000 people, including almost 200,000 children in New Jersey, were food insecure.
This means they live in a household where they lack consistent access to adequate food that is needed to live healthy, active lives.
If we break it down even further, according to a 2021 study conducted by the Food Research and Action Center, 14% of Black households and 18% of Latino households in New Jersey experience food insufficiency compared to 5% of white households.
This year on Social with the Side of Justice, our goal is to bring awareness to this issue and highlight these individuals who are taking action to fight against this injustice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of Social with the Side of Justice. Yay! I'm Larissa.
I'm Sammy.
And I'm Wisla, and we will be your hosts today.
To help us kick off Season 2, we are very excited to have our amazing State Senator Vin Gopal joining us once again.
Yay! Senator, thank you so much for joining us today. We know that you have an insane schedule right now, so we just want to say thank you for taking the time to be here with us today.
It's great to be with you guys again.
Yay.
So, what have you been up to since we last talked in January?
Let's see. I am running again for the Senate. It's in 26 days, 12 hours. No. Not that I'm counting. So that is been a lot of campaigning, knocking on doors, TV commercials, billboards, radios, and just getting the word out that there's an election coming up. I also have you can't see it on the radio, my 14-month-old daughter, so I'm spending a lot of time with her. But she's unfortunately going through, which we all did, I think, right? Molars coming in, so she's in a lot of pain.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys didn't remember that, right?
Well, I don't, but like that's
what I'm
really
hoping
sad.
that she doesn't remember, because it looks pretty painful.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Our theme this year is food accessibility. As a state senator, would you say there are any parts of your district that suffer from food insecurity or a lack of access to inexpensive and nutritious food?
Yeah, all throughout. Unfortunately, even through COVID, food insecurity has been on the rise. I run a food pantry that's in Red Bank, right on Shrewsbury Avenue. We service, it's called the Vin Gopal Civic Association Food Pantry. They're open every Tuesday and Thursday, and the pantry goes through at least 400 regular families in the greater Red Bank area that are just struggling right now. I had a class recently that a young girl was very emotional because she was hungry in the class, and this was at the end of last year. It was in Ocean Township, and her parents had lost their jobs, and they were living at a local motel, and just didn't want to tell anyone. So food insecurity is on the rise. Inflation, cost of living, gasoline, housing, it's harder for folks. There's a continual gap of corporations in the top 1% that do much better than the bottom 95%. So unfortunately, we've seen the rich get richer and the poor get poorer and the middle class get squeezed out. And when that happens, we see issues like food insecurity go on the rise. And even during COVID, when things were virtual, a lot of kids weren't even getting one meal a day with the free and reduced lunch program that they used to be getting. So it's a big issue, and I appreciate you guys talking about this today and bringing this issue up.
Yeah.
So which groups of people would you say are the most affected by this issue?
It's basically everyone, but we know statistically, like you guys just said, that Black and Latino families are at a higher percentage, as you said, 14 and 18%. We do have a lot of white families, too, especially in the Bayshore area, in Keensburg and Hazlitt and parts of Middletown that are going through food insecurity and housing challenges. And, and there's so many other things tied to food insecurity. Housing is a big issue. Affordable housing is a big issue. We also saw during COVID, for example, in Red Bank, where big parts of the town did not have access to Wi-Fi. And so there was no opportunity for virtual learning. So there's a lot of basic needs to just make sure that we as government, partnering with community leaders and nonprofits, just kind of make sure there's an even playing field, because you can't expect a child to go take a standardized test when they're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So based on that, how do you use your position to help alleviate this problem?
So there's a lot of resources out there. We have put in, and I've been proud to sponsor more money towards food insecurity than we've actually put in more money in the last 3 years than the last 30 combined. But it's making sure people know that there are resources out there and that they know not just there's Fulfill, obviously, there's different pantries, there's different organizations, but to make sure they know how to access those. And we're also seeing now that food insecurity and income inequality doesn't look like what it used to look like. When we used to think of people that are going through a tough time, we would think of usually people that were homeless. Now it's people that are really underemployed or working multiple jobs or may not be working and are trying to live off savings. And those are the folks that may be in a home, but they're really struggling to make their rent payments or their mortgage payments, and they're very close to going to poverty. And making sure that those folks know that there are resources. They should call my state senate office in Ocean Township, or they should call Congressman Pallone's office, or they should reach out to so many incredible nonprofit organizations like Lunch Break or Fulfill, or there's countless of them. And I think making sure folks know that it's okay to go to those resources, I think, is really important.
Is there like a website that we can tell people to go to or like to visit?
I mean, they could just if they want to contact me directly, they can just email us at sengopal, SENGOPAL at njledge.org, or they can just Google Senator Gopal contact. It's right in Ocean Township, and we have a great staff, and they will help them go through as many resources as possible, and it's all confidential.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
So what can we as students do to help?
I think you guys are doing it now, talking about it, making sure if you do see fellow students that are going through a tough time, just know that sometimes kids are embarrassed when they shouldn't be, because it's really not their fault at all. Situations just happen. Everyone has a different hand that they're given, and people do incredible things with that hand. And so I think just making sure that you look after people that you see. Usually the signs are pretty telling. If they're not eating 3 meals a day, if they're not getting dinner at night, and making sure that there are resources. I know there's a great school-based youth service program here in Long Branch that does a great job making sure folks are referred to that program. I think there's a lot of resources out there, and just making sure people, kids are know about them is most important, and making them not feel embarrassed about it.
Yeah, that's great. We know that you do a lot in regards to providing resources to our community for mental health services, like you just mentioned. Do you think that a lack of access to nutritious foods can impact someone's mental health?
Oh, 100% for all of us, right? Like,
Yeah.
we know that. Like, to get cranky, right? Yes, nutritious foods is extremely important. Access to nutritious foods is extremely important. We're trying to do more programs with the county and state as it relates to freshly grown vegetables and fruits and different things at some of our farms here in Monmouth and Ocean counties, and making sure that students have access to that. But yeah, that's a really important part. And I think a lot of our food pantries, especially Fulfill and Neptune, has really made it a priority to make sure there's access to fresh fruits and vegetables, and not just the things that you get on the supermarket shelves.
Last year, we interviewed you as juniors. Now we are seniors and we're about to enter the real world. Do you have any life advice for us?
I think you guys are doing pretty incredible. You live in a great town and a great school district, and I think we're all, as a resident of Long Branch, we are blessed to be in Monmouth County, and it's really just a very unique place. I think the advice I would give you and others is try as many different experiences as you can, see what you enjoy. I can't tell you how many different jobs I've had. The strangest job I ever had, I was a pro wrestling referee up in North Jersey. I set up the ring, and I would be a referee. It was scripted, right?
Yeah.
But I did that. Everything from that to bartending to I was a busboy for a while, dishwasher. Was a union member. I did embroidery and screen printing. I was a sign maker. I put like highway signs up. Now, those were all different experiences. Maybe none of them were enjoyable. But while I was doing that, I tried all different sorts of internships in all different sorts of places. And I naturally ended up realizing pretty quickly that I was not good at math and science. I did not enjoy certain subjects. I wanted to work, which isn't for everyone, and I was really interested in business, and I was really interested in politics and government. So I tried a federal internship, I tried a state one, I went to the county government. I know right here in Long Branch, Mayor Pallone has a lot of great internship opportunities in City Hall. If you're interested in engineering or different things like that, there's opportunities there. So I think just to try as many different things and try it, something you might like right now, you may not like, if you choose to go to college, you may not like it there. If you choose to go to work or go to a trade school or vocational school, you might not like it there. I think just try to try as many experiences as possible.
So I know you mentioned earlier they had some questions for us.
Yeah. So what do you guys think we could do about food insecurity?
I know that during COVID, there was like drive-bys that you could pass by and you could pick up stuff if you wanted to, but it's mostly like when you see something, say something, which is very important. And like,
Do you see it amongst your peers? Do you see it amongst students? Do you see folks, or you think it's kind of hidden and it's hard to know?
I feel like
It's
it's
hidden.
It's
Yeah,
hidden.
I don't really.
Do you think there's enough resources as far as like knowledge-wise? Does the school district have resources? You have
so.
Yeah,
you
I
have the
believe
school
so.
people know to go to the school-based youth
Yeah.
service program.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty like, how do you say, like they advertise it
Got
a
it.
lot.
Yeah.
So starting with you, Sam, what do you guys want to do after you graduate?
I definitely want to go to college. I'm not sure like what to study. Definitely
You want to go
somewhere.
local, or you want to go far?
I want to go far, but at the same time, I think I might stay local. I don't think I
Okay.
can go that far. But I definitely want to do something in like finance.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I want to go to Rutgers for sports medicine or physical therapy.
Your life is together right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Rutgers for sports medicine or therapy. So what was the second thing?
Physical
Physical
therapy.
therapy. Very cool.
I don't know what college I'm going to yet, but I definitely want to study animal science to be a vet.
Sammy, I was with you. I didn't know what I was doing either. You're
Yeah,
don't worry,
I'm
you're
just
fine.
like- it's
These two seem like they
And
gotta
there's
go.
so much pressure too, just to know
Yeah.
what you have to do. But
No, I didn't declare my major until like third year, and I think you'll be fine. You'll be
Thank you.
fine. The fact that you guys are doing this and you're doing this, you're way ahead of most kids, most seniors, because who probably don't want to stay after school and do these type of things. The fact that you guys have an interest in this is pretty amazing.
yeah.
So we should expect another win for you from this campaign, right?
Is this wood? Yeah, it is. I'm hoping. Again, I think we talked about this last year. I am the only registered Democrat in Monmouth, Ocean counties, or anywhere in the shoreline. There's never been a Democrat in Monmouth County for like 30 years in the state legislature here. So statistically, I shouldn't win. But that's why we work hard and try to prove people wrong.
I agree.
I have one town in my district. I have a few towns, but Colts Neck is in my district. I think I got 14% of the vote there. I lost 86 to 14, and I think a lot of that 14 they voted for me by accident. They couldn't see.
No.
It's a tough county for a registered Democrat.
That's crazy. Well, you definitely have our vote. So
I appreciate it. Are you guys all 18?
no,
Anyone getting close before November 7th?
no.
Well, thank you for the votes.
But in
I guess.
spirit, we're
But in
voting.
spirit,
We're
Well,
gonna
you guys
try to
can
get the
tell
word
people,
out.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Siblings, family,
Yes,
friends, people
yes.
that are 18.
You probably have their votes. They're
Yeah, our
some of them are
audience.
older than 18.
Some of them are, maybe.
Senator Gopal, thank you again so much for joining us. As always, we enjoyed having the chance to talk with you.
I'm sorry. I was just saying, I hope you guys have a great school year.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you guys for joining us today on Social with the Side of Justice.
Be sure to subscribe and tune in to episode 2 where we sit down with Macro Bytes co-founder David Lewis.